Imagine you hold the key to complete freedom, a life where no one else's opinion controls you, where you don't fear rejection and where your inner peace is unshakable. But in the world around you, people are constantly trying to influence your decisions, distract you, and pull you away from your true path. How would you handle that pressure? This is the wisdom Buddha offers us, a path to rise above external noise and unlock your full power by focusing only on yourself. Today, we'll reveal 10 powerful Buddhist lessons that show you how to let go of others' opinions and take control of your life. 1. Stop relying on others for your happiness. As the Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This means that true happiness doesn't come from what others say or do. It comes from inside us. When we depend on others for our happiness, whether it's through their approval, praise, or actions, we give them control over our emotions. This often leads to disappointment because no one can make us happy all the time. Buddhism teaches us to look inward for peace and contentment. This means learning to be comfortable with who we are, finding joy in the present moment, and practicing gratitude for what we already have. By practicing self-reliance, we build a strong foundation of inner peace that no one can take away from us. 2. Don't fear being alone. It's where you find true power. As the Buddha said, meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery. This teaches us that solitude isn't something to fear. It's actually a place of strength. When we spend time alone, we gain the space to truly understand ourselves, reflect on our thoughts, and grow emotionally and spiritually. Being alone allows us to meditate and focus on our personal growth without distractions. Instead of relying on the company of others for comfort or validation, we learn to be our own best companion. By embracing solitude, we find the inner power and wisdom that helps us navigate life with confidence and clarity. 3. Quit seeking approval from everyone. As Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. This means that the approval you truly need is your own, not anyone else's. When we constantly seek validation from others, whether it's through compliments, praise, or acceptance, we lose sight of our own worth and let others control how we feel about ourselves. Buddhism teaches us that real confidence and happiness come from self-acceptance. You don't need to rely on the opinions of others to feel good about who you are. Instead, practice giving yourself the love, kindness, and validation you deserve. The more you approve of yourself, the less you'll depend on others for validation, freeing yourself from unnecessary stress and disappointment. 4. Don't let rejection break you. Rejection is a natural part of life, but it doesn't define your worth. It's easy to feel discouraged or inadequate when faced with rejection, but Buddhism teaches us to see it differently. Instead of seeing it as a failure, view it as an opportunity for growth and redirection. Sometimes, rejection is just life's way of steering you towards something better. As the Buddha said, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. This reminds us that letting go with grace is key to finding peace. When you stop taking rejection personally, you free yourself from unnecessary pain and create room for new opportunities. Let go, move forward, and trust that rejection is just a stepping stone on your journey. 5. Stop fearing what others think of you. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is worrying about what others think of us. We often let the opinions of others shape our actions and feelings, but Buddhism teaches us that other people's judgments are more about them than about us. The only thing that truly matters is how you see yourself and your own actions. As the Buddha said, let none find fault with others. Let none see the misdeeds of others, but let one see one's own acts, done and undone. This reminds us to focus on our own journey and stop worrying about what others think. People's opinions are out of your control, and constantly fearing their judgment will only drain your energy. When you let go of this fear, you find freedom and peace in being authentically yourself. 6. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others. Many of us fall into the habit of trying to please everyone around us, whether it's at work, with friends, or even in our families. We bend over backward to make others happy, often at the cost of our own peace and well-being. But in the end, no matter how hard you try, you can never fully satisfy everyone, and this constant effort to please others will only lead to exhaustion and stress. As the Buddha wisely taught, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. This reminds us that peace of mind is far more valuable than trying to meet everyone's expectations. Buddhism encourages us to act with compassion and kindness, but not at the expense of our own inner peace. There's a balance to be found. Help others, but don't let their needs overwhelm your life. It's okay to say no and set boundaries when necessary. When you prioritize your own peace, you're able to live more authentically and give from a place of strength rather than sacrifice. Remember, the more you focus on keeping your own mind calm and centered, the less you'll feel the need to constantly seek approval or please others. True contentment comes from within, and when you honor your own peace, you bring greater harmony to your life and relationships. 7. Focus on what you can control, yourself. In life, we often get frustrated or upset because we try to control things that are completely out of our hands. We want people to act a certain way, situations to unfold exactly as we imagine, and outcomes to always align with our expectations. But one of the core teachings of Buddhism is that clinging to things beyond our control only causes suffering. The truth is, you cannot control how others behave, how they feel, or what they think. The only thing you truly have power over is yourself, your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions. As the Buddha said, rule your mind, or it will rule you. This simple yet profound teaching is a reminder that our minds are incredibly powerful. When we focus on mastering our own thoughts and emotions, we gain control over our lives. Instead of wasting energy trying to change others or control situations, shift that energy inward. Ask yourself, how can I react better? How can I improve myself? How can I find peace within, even when things outside of me are chaotic? By focusing on what you can control, your own mind, habits, and responses, you build resilience. External events, whether they are positive or negative, no longer have the power to disturb your inner peace. Imagine the freedom that comes when you no longer feel the need to control everything around you. The moment you accept that others' actions are not your responsibility, you reclaim your power. This mindset shift leads to a calmer, more contented life. You become less reactive and more intentional, making decisions from a place of inner stability rather than stress or anxiety. This is the path to true freedom and self-mastery, one where you can remain at peace regardless of external circumstances. By focusing on your inner world, you create a life where outer chaos can't touch your calm. When you focus inward, you also stop relying on the unpredictable behavior of others to determine your happiness. You begin to recognize that the key to peace lies in your ability to maintain balance and mindfulness, no matter what's happening around you. Over time, you'll find that by working on yourself, you actually inspire those around you to change. Your calm becomes contagious. Others may begin to notice your strength and resilience, and it may even encourage them to reflect on their own actions. This practice is not about ignoring the world or becoming detached from others, but rather about realizing that your energy is best spent on what you can change yourself. Once you master your own reactions and mindset, you will find that external challenges no longer shake your foundation, and that is where true power lies. 8. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. We often believe that people are constantly watching and judging us, but the reality is much simpler. Most people are far too absorbed in their own lives to focus on us. This realization can be incredibly freeing. The fear of judgment is one of the biggest reasons we hold back from being our authentic selves. Whether it's worrying about how we dress, speak, or act, we assume others are scrutinizing every detail. But Buddhism teaches us to let go of this unnecessary burden and live more freely. As the Buddha taught, your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. This reminds us that we each have our own unique journey to follow. People are primarily concerned with their own problems, goals, and dreams. Instead of worrying about what others might think of you, focus on discovering your path and living it fully. When you realize that people are not thinking about you as much as you believe, it lifts a huge weight off your shoulders. You no longer have to waste energy trying to live up to others' expectations, and instead, you can redirect that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Consider how often you worry about what others think compared to how much time you spend thinking about your own challenges and goals. The truth is, just like you, most people are preoccupied with their own lives. They have their own dreams, insecurities, and worries to deal with, leaving little time to focus on you. This understanding gives you the freedom to be authentic, make decisions that feel right for you, and pursue your passions without the constant pressure of outside judgment. Buddhism teaches the concept of non-attachment, not just to material things, but also to the opinions of others. When you release yourself from the need for external approval, you allow yourself to live more authentically. Instead of living in fear of others' thoughts, focus on your own growth. This shift in mindset leads to greater confidence and inner peace, because you are no longer a prisoner of other people's judgments. It's also important to understand that everyone is facing their own battles. Just as you may struggle with your own thoughts and emotions, others are dealing with their own issues. Recognizing this helps build empathy and understanding, making it easier to let go of the fear of judgment. People aren't judging you because they are too busy navigating their own struggles. By focusing less on what others think and more on your personal development, you'll start to notice a sense of freedom that wasn't there before. You'll feel lighter, more empowered, and more in control of your own destiny. It's a powerful realization that you don't need to worry about how others perceive you because they are simply too caught up in their own world. Living authentically and without fear of judgment is key to unlocking your true potential. You'll take more risks, pursue the things that truly bring you joy, and live with a greater sense of purpose. Remember, the world is far too vast, and life is too short to live in the shadows of what others may or may not be thinking. Focus on discovering and fulfilling your own purpose with full dedication. By letting go of the constant need for validation and the fear of judgment, you create a mental and emotional space for self-discovery. This practice leads to a stronger connection with yourself and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in your life. The less you worry about what others think, the more you can focus on what makes you feel fulfilled, peaceful, and content. 9. Don't get caught up in social comparison. One of the biggest traps in life is comparing yourself to others. Whether it's comparing your looks, your career, your success, or even your happiness, this habit leads to feelings of envy, inadequacy, and frustration. Buddhism teaches us that comparison is a form of attachment that leads to suffering. By constantly measuring yourself against others, you lose sight of your own unique path and the progress you've made on your journey. As the Buddha said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." This reminds us that true wealth isn't found in having more than others or being better than others. It's found in contentment. When you are content with what you have and who you are, you experience inner peace. Social comparison, on the other hand, pushes you into a mindset of scarcity, always focusing on what you lack instead of appreciating what you already have. In today's world, social media has made it easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. We scroll through feeds full of pictures of perfect vacations, luxurious lifestyles, and success stories, which can make us feel like we're falling behind. But what we often don't see is the reality behind those photos, the struggles, insecurities, and challenges others face. Everyone's journey is different, and comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel is a recipe for unhappiness. Buddhism teaches us the importance of living in the present moment and cultivating gratitude for our own lives. Instead of looking outward to others, turn inward and focus on your own growth. When you practice mindfulness and gratitude, you begin to notice the blessings in your own life and how far you've come. The more you appreciate what you have, the less you feel the need to compare yourself to others. Comparison often leads to a sense of competition, which can breed jealousy and resentment. In Buddhism, these emotions are seen as harmful because they cloud the mind and take us away from our path to peace. When you're constantly competing with others, you're never satisfied, and this mindset robs you of the joy that comes from living authentically. Recognize that everyone's path is different, and the success of others does not diminish your own progress or potential. A key Buddhist concept is the idea of right livelihood, which encourages living in a way that brings harmony and balance. Part of this balance is accepting that your life doesn't need to look like someone else's for it to be fulfilling. When you stop comparing yourself to others and focus on living according to your own values and goals, you begin to experience true contentment. Your self-worth no longer depends on external standards or achievements, but instead is rooted in inner peace and self-acceptance. Social comparison can distract you from what truly matters. You may start to chase goals or possessions that don't align with your true desires simply because you see others doing it. But Buddhism reminds us that true happiness comes not from external achievements, but from understanding and following our own unique path. Chasing what others have can lead you away from what is truly meaningful in your life. By practicing non-attachment, you can break free from the cycle of comparison. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals or strive for success. Rather, it means recognizing that your value is not dependent on outperforming others. Your value comes from being true to yourself and your journey. When you realize this, you free yourself from the pressure to constantly measure up to others and instead focus on what brings you genuine joy and fulfillment. Another aspect to consider is how comparison steals your time and energy. The time you spend thinking about someone else's achievements or lifestyle is time you could use to work on your own growth and well-being. Instead of envying someone else's success, ask yourself how you can improve your own life in ways that are meaningful to you. When you focus on your own progress, you'll begin to see how much you've grown and what you're capable of achieving, which builds confidence and self-respect. Remember that life is not a race. Each of us has our own timing, challenges, and lessons to learn. What matters is not how you compare to others, but how true you are to your own path. When you stop comparing and start focusing on your own journey, you will find a sense of peace and fulfillment that no external achievement can provide. 10. Prioritize your inner growth over external validation. In today's world, many of us are conditioned to seek external validation, whether it's approval from family, recognition from colleagues, or likes and comments on social media. We often look to others to feel good about ourselves, But Buddhism teaches us that true peace and fulfillment come from within. The more we chase external validation, the more we move away from our true selves. Our self-worth becomes dependent on how others see us, which creates a cycle of dissatisfaction and insecurity. As the Buddha wisely said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This quote emphasizes the power of your inner world. If you focus on your own growth, mindset, and self-awareness, you become stronger and more at peace. On the other hand, if your thoughts are constantly seeking external approval, you become trapped by the opinions of others. In Buddhism, the path to enlightenment is rooted in self-awareness, mindfulness, and inner transformation. By focusing on your inner growth, you can cultivate a sense of fulfillment that no amount of external validation can provide. The pursuit of external validation is often tied to our ego, the part of us that craves attention, recognition, and status. But the ego is never satisfied. No matter how much approval we get from others, the ego will always want more. It becomes a never-ending chase that leaves us feeling empty. Buddhism encourages us to transcend the ego by turning inward and seeking fulfillment through self-awareness, mindfulness, and compassion. The more you focus on your inner growth, the less power the ego has over you. When you prioritize inner growth, you start to see that your worth is not based on how others perceive you. Instead, it's based on your own values, integrity, and personal development. You begin to measure success not by external achievements, but by how much you've grown as a person. Are you more patient, more compassionate, more mindful than you were yesterday? These are the true markers of progress, and they come from within. External validation, on the other hand, is fleeting. It can disappear as quickly as it comes, leaving you chasing after the next source of approval. Focusing on inner growth also allows you to build resilience. When your sense of self-worth is rooted in external validation, you become vulnerable to the opinions and judgments of others. A single criticism or rejection can shatter your confidence. But when your sense of self is grounded in your own personal development, you become more resilient to life's challenges. You know who you are, and you don't need others to tell you your worth. This inner strength is one of the greatest gifts that comes from prioritizing your own growth. Prioritizing inner growth over external validation leads to a more peaceful and authentic life. When you stop worrying about what others think, you give yourself the freedom to live according to your own values and desires. You no longer feel the pressure to fit into someone else's expectations or conform to societal standards. Instead, you live a life that's true to who you are. This authenticity not only brings inner peace, but also attracts deeper, more meaningful relationships with others. People are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin and who live with integrity. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, the idea that everything in life is temporary and constantly changing. This includes external validation. The praise and approval you receive from others today may be gone tomorrow. Chasing after something so unstable will only lead to frustration and anxiety. Inner growth, however, is something that cannot be taken away from you. The wisdom, self-awareness, and emotional resilience you develop through personal growth are lasting qualities that will serve you throughout your life. Another important Buddhist concept is equanimity, which refers to maintaining mental calmness and emotional balance regardless of external circumstances. When you focus on inner growth, you cultivate equanimity. You become less reactive to both praise and criticism because your sense of self-worth is no longer tied to what others think. Instead, it's anchored in your own inner peace and self-awareness. This emotional balance allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and confidence. Focusing on inner growth doesn't mean ignoring the outside world or other people. Instead, It means recognizing that the most important work you can do is within yourself. When you prioritize your personal development, you also become a better friend, partner, and community member. You bring more compassion, patience, and wisdom to your relationships, and you inspire others to focus on their own growth. Inner growth is not a selfish pursuit. It's the foundation for a more harmonious and fulfilling life for both you and those around you. When you prioritize inner growth, you open the door to true happiness. External validation may bring temporary pleasure, but it's fleeting and dependent on others. Inner growth, on the other hand, brings lasting joy and fulfillment because it's rooted in your own efforts and self-awareness. You no longer need to rely on the opinions of others to feel good about yourself, and this freedom is incredibly empowering. The moment you stop caring about what others think, you unlock your true potential and embrace a life of self-empowerment. Let go of external expectations and start focusing on your own journey. Remember, true power comes from within. Thanks for watching, and if you found value in these lessons, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Imagine a life where nothing can shake your peace, where you're unaffected by insults, challenges, or the chaos around you. How powerful would that be? Today we're diving into 10 transformative Buddhist principles that can help you achieve this unshakable state of mind. As Buddha once said, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. Let's discover how to cultivate this inner sanctuary together. Principle 1. Insult and offense. In Buddhism, we learn that insults and offenses only have power if we give them power. Imagine someone throws a rock into a pond. The water ripples, but eventually it settles back into stillness. Similarly, when someone says something hurtful, it can disturb our peace for a moment, but we can choose to let it go and return to our calm state. As Buddha said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. This means that when we hold on to anger and resentment, we are the ones who suffer, not the person who insulted us. Their words are often more about their own issues than about us. By understanding that others' words are a reflection of their own state, we can see them with compassion rather than letting their negativity affect us. This way, we remain unaffected and maintain our inner peace, like the pond returning to stillness after the rock's ripples fade away. Principle 2. Transform everyone into a teacher. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to see every person we encounter as a teacher. This means that everyone we meet, whether they bring us joy or challenges, has something valuable to teach us. As Buddha taught, when watching after yourself, you watch after others. When watching after others, you watch after yourself. By adopting this mindset, we can turn negative experiences into opportunities for growth. For example, if someone is unkind to us, we can learn patience and compassion. Viewing others as our teachers helps us remain open-minded and less affected by negativity. This way, every interaction becomes a chance to learn and grow, keeping us centered and resilient. Principle 3. Transform envy into emulation. Instead of feeling envy, Buddhism encourages us to turn envy into emulation. When we see someone succeeding or possessing qualities we admire, we can choose to be inspired rather than envious. As Buddha said, do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself. This means that instead of feeling bad about ourselves, we can use others' success as motivation to improve ourselves. By admiring and learning from others, we can grow and become better without feeling diminished. Transforming envy into emulation helps us stay positive and focused on our own growth, unaffected by comparisons and negativity. Principle 4. Be strict with yourself but tolerant of others. Buddhism teaches us to hold ourselves to high standards while being tolerant of others' faults. This means we should strive for personal excellence without being harsh or judgmental towards others. As Buddha taught, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. By being strict with ourselves, we focus on our own growth and improvement. We become more disciplined and develop a stronger sense of self-respect. At the same time, being tolerant of others helps us cultivate empathy and understanding, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey. This balanced approach not only fosters personal development, but also enhances our relationships with others. By practicing self-discipline and tolerance, we can remain calm and composed, unaffected by others' actions or mistakes. This way, we build a harmonious life filled with personal growth and compassionate connections. Principle 5. No one can hurt you. Buddhism teaches that no one can truly hurt you without your consent. This means that while others' actions can be hurtful, our reaction to them is within our control. As Buddha said, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. When we develop a strong sense of self and inner peace, we become resilient to external harms. Imagine a tree standing firm against a strong wind. It may bend, but it doesn't break. Similarly, by cultivating inner strength, we can withstand life's challenges without being deeply affected. This principle encourages us to take responsibility for our own well-being. Instead of blaming others for our pain, we focus on building our inner resilience. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection help us strengthen our inner core, making us less susceptible to external negativity. Understanding that no one can hurt us without our consent empowers us. It gives us the freedom to choose how we respond to life's adversities. By maintaining our inner peace and not allowing others' actions to disturb us, we live a more serene and empowered life. Principle 6. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is a powerful tool in Buddhism. It involves embracing things as they are, without resistance or judgment. As Buddha taught, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. When we accept situations and people as they are, we free ourselves from the pain of trying to change things beyond our control. This doesn't mean we become passive. It means we recognize the reality of the present moment and respond to it with clarity and wisdom. Acceptance allows us to conserve our energy for positive actions rather than wasting it on resistance. Imagine you're in a boat on a river. Fighting against the current will exhaust you, but by accepting the flow, you can navigate more effectively. Similarly, by accepting life's ups and downs, we flow more smoothly through challenges. Practicing acceptance also fosters compassion and understanding. When we accept others, flaws and all, we build stronger, more empathetic relationships. This creates a supportive environment where everyone feels valued and understood. Acceptance doesn't mean we stop striving for betterment. It means we do so from a place of peace and understanding. By embracing the present moment and letting go of resistance, we reduce our suffering and maintain a state of calm and contentment, no matter the circumstances. This inner peace allows us to live more fully and joyfully, unaffected by life's inevitable changes. Principle 7. Living according to nature. Living in harmony with nature and its rhythms helps us stay grounded. As Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. This principle encourages us to align our lives with the natural world and its cycles. When we live according to nature, we recognize the interconnectedness of all life. This awareness helps us appreciate the beauty and balance of the world around us. For example, the changing seasons teach us about the cycles of growth, decay, and renewal, reminding us that change is a natural part of life. By adopting natural rhythms, such as rising with the sun and resting when it sets, we can enhance our physical and mental well-being. This alignment with nature's cycles helps us feel more balanced and less stressed. It also promotes a healthier lifestyle, encouraging activities like spending time outdoors, eating whole foods, and practicing mindfulness. Living according to nature also means respecting and protecting the environment. This mindfulness fosters a sense of responsibility and stewardship for the planet, ensuring that we contribute to the well-being of all living beings. When we embrace the simplicity and wisdom of nature, we find that many of our modern worries and stresses fade away. By focusing on the essential and letting go of unnecessary complexities, we create a more peaceful and fulfilling life. This way, we remain unaffected by the artificial stresses of modern life, finding solace and strength in the natural world. Incorporating the wisdom of nature into our daily lives helps us stay connected to our true selves and the world around us, promoting a deeper sense of harmony and resilience. Principle 8. Focus on ethical living. Ethical living is central to Buddhism. Buddha taught, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound teaching emphasizes the power of our thoughts and their direct impact on our lives. In Buddhism, ethical living involves adhering to principles such as honesty, compassion, and respect for all living beings. Ethical living starts with the understanding that our actions, words, and thoughts have consequences. In Buddhism, this is encapsulated in the law of karma, which teaches that our deeds create ripples that return to us in some form. By focusing on right actions and moral behavior, we build a foundation of integrity that shields us from the negative influences of the world. This means being truthful in our words, kind in our actions, and fair in our dealings with others. When we live ethically, we create positive karma, which leads to a more peaceful and harmonious life. For instance, by practicing honesty, we build trust and reliability, which fosters positive relationships and a sense of community. When we speak truthfully, we create an atmosphere of trust and transparency, which helps to build stronger and more meaningful connections with those around us. Kindness and compassion towards others not only help those around us, but also cultivate a sense of joy and fulfillment within ourselves. Simple acts of kindness, such as helping a neighbor or showing empathy to a friend in need, can have profound effects on our well-being and happiness. Respecting all living beings, including animals and nature, reinforces our connection to the world and promotes a harmonious coexistence. Moreover, ethical living helps us develop a clear conscience, reducing feelings of guilt and regret that can disturb our inner peace. It encourages us to think before we act, ensuring that our actions align with our values and do not cause harm to others. In this way, we cultivate a sense of responsibility and mindfulness in our daily interactions. When we refrain from actions that cause harm, such as lying, stealing, or engaging in violence, we prevent the negative repercussions that follow such behaviors and maintain our mental and emotional well-being. This self-awareness and reflection help us navigate life's challenges with a calm and composed mind, free from the turmoil that unethical actions can bring. Ethical living also involves self-discipline and self-control. It requires us to avoid behaviors that can lead to suffering, such as lying, stealing, or harming others. By practicing self-restraint and making conscious choices, we strengthen our moral character and resilience. For example, abstaining from gossip not only prevents harm to others, but also keeps our minds free from negativity. Gossiping can create unnecessary conflict and spread false information, leading to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Similarly, by choosing to forgive rather than hold grudges, we release ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment, fostering a more peaceful state of mind. Forgiveness allows us to move forward without being weighed down by past grievances, opening the door to healing and reconciliation. Focusing on ethical living according to Buddhist principles helps us create a life of integrity, peace, and harmony. It protects us from negative influences and allows us to contribute positively to the world around us. As we continue to practice these principles, we grow in wisdom and compassion, becoming a source of inspiration and support for others. Our ethical behavior sets an example for those around us, encouraging a community and society that values and upholds moral principles. By living ethically, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute to a better world for everyone. By integrating ethical living into our daily lives, we develop a strong moral compass that guides us in making the right decisions, even in challenging situations. This inner strength and clarity help us navigate life's complexities with confidence and grace. Furthermore, ethical living helps us cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment, as we know that our actions are contributing to the greater good. This sense of purpose is a powerful motivator that can sustain us through difficult times and inspire us to keep striving for excellence. Ethical living is not just about adhering to a set of rules or guidelines. It is about embodying the values that define who we are and how we interact with the world. It is about living with integrity, compassion, and respect, and creating a positive impact on the lives of those around us. By focusing on ethical living, we can build a life that is not only meaningful and fulfilling, but also resilient and unshaken by external influences. Principle 9. Practice gratitude. Practicing gratitude is a transformative principle that can significantly alter our perspective on life. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what is going wrong, gratitude shifts our attention to what we already have and what's going well. This simple change in focus can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Buddha emphasized the importance of gratitude with the words, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little." This quote reminds us that there is always something to be thankful for, no matter how small it might seem. It encourages us to find the positive aspects in every situation, even on days that seem challenging or unproductive. When we practice gratitude regularly, we start to notice and appreciate the small blessings that we often take for granted. This could be as simple as a beautiful sunrise, the taste of our favorite food, the support of a loved one, or the comfort of a warm home. By acknowledging these moments of joy and expressing thanks for them, we cultivate a positive outlook on life. Gratitude also acts as a shield against negativity and stress. When we focus on the good things in our lives, we are less likely to dwell on the negatives. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist, but rather balancing them with an awareness of the positive aspects. Over time, this practice helps us develop a resilient mindset where we can handle life's ups and downs with greater ease. Expressing gratitude can strengthen our relationships. When we show appreciation to others, it fosters a sense of connection and mutual respect. Whether it's thanking a friend for their support, appreciating a colleague for their hard work, or acknowledging the kindness of a stranger, these small acts of gratitude can deepen our bonds with others and create a more positive social environment. Incorporating gratitude into our daily routine can be simple and effective. Some people find it helpful to keep a gratitude journal where they write down a few things they are thankful for each day. This practice can be a powerful reminder of the good in our lives and can help shift our focus from what's missing to what's present. Others might practice gratitude through meditation or prayer, taking a few moments each day to reflect on their blessings and express their thanks. Another way to cultivate gratitude is through mindful observation. By paying close attention to our surroundings and the people in our lives, we can find many opportunities to be grateful. This might involve noticing the beauty of nature, the warmth of the sun, the sound of birds chirping, or the laughter of a loved one. Mindful observation helps us stay present and appreciate the richness of our experiences. Gratitude can also be expressed through acts of kindness. When we do something nice for someone else, it not only benefits them, but also reinforces our own sense of gratitude. Acts of kindness can be as simple as holding the door open for someone, offering a compliment, or helping a neighbor with their groceries. These actions create a ripple effect, spreading positivity and gratitude in our communities. In times of difficulty or stress, practicing gratitude can be especially beneficial. It reminds us that even in challenging times, there are still things to be thankful for. This perspective can provide comfort and hope, helping us navigate tough situations with greater resilience. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can maintain a sense of peace and contentment even when life is difficult. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating the blessings in our lives, we build a positive outlook that shields us from negativity and stress. Gratitude is a powerful tool that can transform our perspective, improve our relationships, and enhance our overall well-being. As we integrate gratitude into our daily lives, we cultivate a mindset of abundance and positivity, allowing us to remain unaffected by the challenges and negativity that may come our way. Principle 10. Trust the process and let go of control. Trusting the process and letting go of the need to control everything is a core Buddhist principle. Buddha taught that the root of suffering is attachment. This means that our desire to cling to certain outcomes, people or things, often leads to our own suffering. When we become attached to specific results or rigid expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment and stress. By surrendering to the flow of life, we allow things to unfold naturally without forcing them. This doesn't mean we stop making efforts or pursuing goals. Rather, we do our best and then release our tight grip on how things must turn out. Trusting the process means having faith that things will work out as they are meant to, even if it's not exactly as we envisioned. Imagine you are in a river. If you try to swim against the current, you exhaust yourself and make little progress. But if you go with the flow, you move smoothly and effortlessly. Similarly, in life, when we stop resisting and start accepting, we find a sense of peace and calm. This practice of letting go can be applied in various areas of life, whether it's in relationships, career aspirations, or personal challenges. For example, in relationships, we often want to control how others behave or how situations should unfold. This can lead to frustration and conflict when things don't go as planned. By letting go, we can appreciate people for who they are and allow relationships to develop naturally. When we stop trying to mold others to fit our expectations, we open up to genuine connections and deeper understanding. Accepting people as they are, without trying to change them, fosters a sense of harmony and mutual respect. In our careers, we might have a specific vision of success and feel disheartened if we face obstacles or detours. By trusting the process, we understand that every experience, even the setbacks, contributes to our growth and learning. We become more adaptable and open to new opportunities that we might not have considered before. Sometimes what seems like a failure or a detour is actually a stepping stone to something greater. By letting go of rigid career plans, we can discover paths that are more fulfilling and aligned with our true passions. Personal challenges, such as health issues or unexpected life changes, can also test our ability to let go of control. Instead of resisting these changes, we can choose to accept them and look for ways to adapt. This doesn't mean giving up. It means finding a new path that aligns with the current reality. For instance, dealing with a chronic illness might mean adjusting your lifestyle and finding new ways to enjoy life. By accepting and adapting, you can find peace and even new joys in your changed circumstances. Trusting the process is also about being present. When we focus too much on the future, we miss out on the present moment. By letting go of our need to control the future, we can fully engage with the here and now, finding joy and contentment in the present. Living in the moment allows us to appreciate the small pleasures of life, like a beautiful sunset, a child's laughter, or a quiet moment of reflection. This principle encourages us to cultivate patience and trust. It's about understanding that life has its own timing and rhythm. By letting go of our attachments and expectations, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace, making us resilient and less affected by external circumstances. Patience helps us endure the waiting periods in life without anxiety. Trusting the process means believing that there is a reason and a timing for everything that happens. Remember, letting go is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. It requires mindfulness and self-awareness. Whenever you find yourself trying to control outcomes or becoming overly attached to certain desires, take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself of the principle of non-attachment. Embrace the uncertainty and trust that the process will guide you to where you need to be. Each time you practice letting go, you strengthen your ability to remain calm and centered, no matter what life throws at you. In the words of Buddha, you only lose what you cling to. By practicing non-attachment and trusting the process, we find peace within ourselves, regardless of the chaos that might be happening around us. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. It means engaging with life fully, but without the burden of needing to control every aspect. This way, we can experience life with a sense of freedom and joy, knowing that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by how we respond to them. Trusting the process is about having faith in the journey and knowing that everything unfolds as it should. It teaches us to relinquish our fears and anxieties about the future and to trust that we will have the strength and wisdom to handle whatever comes our way. By embracing this principle, we cultivate a profound inner peace that remains unshaken by external events. By integrating these 10 Buddhist principles into our daily lives, we can cultivate a state of mind where nothing can affect us. Remember, true peace comes from within. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others seeking inner tranquility. Have you ever felt exposed, vulnerable, or judged after sharing too much of yourself? In a world where everyone demands to know your every move, guarding your inner world is not just wise, it's powerful. As the teachings of Buddhism remind us, do not let yourself be guided by the voice of others. Protect your inner world. Today, we're diving deep into ancient Buddhist wisdom that teaches you the art of self-protection, why you should never expose your weaknesses, your plans, or your true self. Because in the quiet moments, when you choose silence over speech and privacy over exposure, you find your greatest strength. Ready to reclaim your power? Let's get started. 1. Guard your weaknesses. They're your hidden strengths. In Buddhism, your weaknesses aren't something to be ashamed of. They are simply parts of your personal journey. Everyone has flaws, insecurities, and areas of vulnerability, and these can often be the keys to your growth and self-awareness. Instead of exposing these weaknesses to others who may not understand or respect them, keep them protected. By guarding your weaknesses, you allow yourself to work on them privately, without the fear of external judgment, criticism, or interference. This personal space gives you the opportunity to transform these vulnerabilities into strengths at your own pace, without pressure. Your weaknesses are not flaws, They are stepping stones to becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself. 2. Be selective with your trust. Not everyone is a friend. Trust is one of the most valuable things you can offer someone, but it's also something that should be given carefully. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches us to be aware of who we allow into our inner circle. Not everyone you meet has good intentions, and even well-meaning people can hurt you unintentionally. By being selective with your trust, you protect yourself from potential betrayal, disappointment, and pain. Just because someone seems kind or supportive doesn't mean they are ready to handle your secrets or vulnerability. Take time to truly know someone before sharing your inner world with them. Trust should be earned, not freely given, and being mindful of this helps you maintain your peace and emotional well-being. 3. Privacy is power. Protect your personal life. In a world where sharing every detail of our lives has become the norm, privacy has become a rare and powerful asset. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of protecting your inner world and maintaining control over your personal space. Your private life, your thoughts, feelings, relationships, and goals is sacred. When you keep these aspects of your life private, you retain control over how much of yourself you expose to the outside world. This not only shields you from unnecessary scrutiny and judgment, but also protects you from negative influences that can disrupt your peace of mind. Privacy allows you to live authentically and focus on what truly matters without the pressure of public opinion. Remember, you don't owe anyone a glimpse into your personal life. Protecting your privacy is protecting your power. 4. Your emotional reactions are your weak points. Don't reveal them. Emotional reactions are natural, but they can also be one of your biggest vulnerabilities. In Buddhism, managing your emotions with mindfulness and calmness is a sign of inner strength. When you reveal your emotional reactions, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, you give others insight into what affects you most, and this can be used against you, either intentionally or unintentionally. By keeping your emotional responses in check, you maintain control over how situations and people affect you. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, it means learning to observe them without immediately reacting. Practice pausing, breathing, and reflecting before you respond. Protecting your emotional reactions helps you stay centered, resilient, and less influenced by the actions or words of others. Remember, your calmness is your shield, and your silence is your strength. 5. Not everyone deserves to know your plans. Your plans, dreams, and goals are deeply personal, and not everyone deserves to know them. In Buddhism, it's taught that sharing your intentions too soon can expose you to negativity, doubt, and even sabotage. People may project their own fears, insecurities, or envy onto your aspirations, which can dampen your motivation and focus. When you keep your plans private, you protect them from the influence of others and allow yourself to pursue your goals with clarity and determination. Work quietly on your dreams. Let your actions and successes speak for themselves. This approach not only shields your intentions from outside interference, but also strengthens your resolve as you move forward on your path. Remember, your journey is yours alone, and not everyone is meant to walk it with you. 6. Don't let your guard down. Stay vigilant. Always life is full of unpredictable moments, and in Buddhism, mindfulness and vigilance are key to navigating these uncertainties. Keeping your guard up doesn't mean living in constant fear or distrust. It means being aware, mindful, and attentive to your surroundings and the people in your life. When you let your guard down, you become vulnerable to negative influences, manipulative individuals, and harmful situations that can disrupt your peace of mind. Staying vigilant means being conscious of your environment and the intentions of those around you. It's about recognizing that not everyone has your best interests at heart, and some people may take advantage of your openness or kindness. In Buddhism, this awareness is not about suspicion, but about self-preservation and maintaining your inner balance. By staying vigilant, you can make thoughtful decisions that protect you from potential harm, whether emotional, mental, or even physical. Letting your guard down can also lead to complacency, where you might overlook red flags or ignore your intuition. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness teaches us to be fully present and aware of what is happening around us. This awareness helps you maintain control over your actions and reactions, keeping you grounded in any situation. It's about setting boundaries, being clear about what you will and won't tolerate, and not compromising your values or well-being. By staying vigilant, you're not only protecting yourself from external threats, but also nurturing your inner strength. This mindfulness helps you respond wisely rather than react impulsively. It empowers you to navigate your path with confidence, knowing that you're fully in control of your personal space and energy. So, always keep your guard up, not out of fear, but out of respect for your peace and well-being. 7. Silence is a weapon. Use it wisely. Silence is often misunderstood as mere quietness or a lack of words, but in Buddhism, it is a powerful tool that can be used to protect your peace, maintain control, and communicate strength without saying a word. Silence allows you to create space between yourself and the noise of the world, giving you time to think, reflect, and observe. It's a form of self-discipline that helps you avoid unnecessary conflict, misunderstandings, and emotional reactions. When you practice silence, you give yourself the opportunity to listen more deeply, not just to others, but also to your inner thoughts and emotions. This inner listening helps you gain clarity and wisdom, allowing you to make more thoughtful decisions. By not immediately responding to provocations or pressure, you retain control over your actions. In Buddhism, this is known as practicing mindful speech, which includes knowing when not to speak at all. Silence can also be a form of self-protection. In conversations, arguments, or negotiations, saying less often reveals more. It can keep others from knowing too much about your thoughts, plans, or intentions, which protects you from potential manipulation. Silence can serve as a boundary that says, "I will not engage with negativity, and I won't let others draw me into their drama." It's a way to shield your mind from unnecessary stress and conflict. Silence can disarm those who seek to provoke you. In a heated situation, responding with silence can be more powerful than any words you could say. It shows that you are in control of your emotions and that you will not be easily rattled. This quiet strength is a form of wisdom that Buddhism deeply values. It reflects inner peace, self-respect, and a refusal to let others dictate your emotional state. Using silence wisely means knowing when to hold back, when to let things go unsaid, and when to walk away. It's about choosing not to reveal your thoughts or feelings to those who may not appreciate or respect them. By embracing silence, you cultivate an aura of calm and strength that others cannot easily penetrate. You protect your energy and maintain your composure, demonstrating that true power often lies in what is left unspoken. In the end, silence is not about withdrawal or weakness. It's about strategic restraint. It's a choice that allows you to navigate life with grace, protecting your peace and preserving your dignity. Use it as a shield and a tool, guiding you through life's challenges with the quiet confidence that you are in control of your own mind and emotions. 8. Don't overshare your successes. Humility is a shield. In a world that often encourages us to broadcast every achievement, it's easy to get caught up in the habit of oversharing our successes. However, Buddhism teaches us the value of humility and the wisdom of restraint. Oversharing your accomplishments can invite unwanted attention, envy, and even negative energy from those around you. When you constantly highlight your successes, you risk attracting people who might not genuinely celebrate with you, but instead harbor resentment or jealousy. Humility acts as a protective shield that guards your achievements from being tarnished by external judgment. It doesn't mean downplaying your accomplishments or failing to recognize your hard work. Rather, it's about keeping your triumphs close to your heart, allowing you to cherish them privately without the need for external validation. By not flaunting your successes, you preserve the purity of your achievements and protect yourself from the negative energies that come with public scrutiny. Buddhism teaches that true fulfillment comes from within, not from the applause or recognition of others. When you quietly acknowledge your successes, you maintain a sense of inner peace and self-respect. You aren't swayed by the opinions or reactions of those around you, allowing your happiness to remain steady and rooted in your own efforts. This approach aligns with the Buddhist concept of non-attachment, where your self-worth isn't tied to external praise or criticism, but is instead grounded in your personal journey. Keeping your successes private can help you stay focused on what truly matters: continuous self-improvement and growth. Oversharing can lead to complacency, where the satisfaction of external validation might tempt you to rest on your laurels. By maintaining a humble stance, you remind yourself that every achievement is a stepping stone on the path, not the final destination. Humility keeps you motivated to keep pushing forward, quietly working towards your next goal without the distraction of outside opinions. Silently celebrating your victories also helps you maintain a sense of control over your narrative. When you overshare, you open yourself up to being misunderstood, judged, or even undermined. Not everyone will appreciate or support your journey, and some may even seek to bring you down. By keeping your successes to yourself, you protect the sacredness of your progress and ensure that you remain in control of your story. Oversharing can create unnecessary pressure to maintain a perfect image. Once you put your achievements out there, you may feel the need to constantly live up to others' expectations, which can be exhausting and distracting. By keeping your achievements private, you free yourself from this burden, allowing you to work and grow without the weight of public perception. This quiet approach to success fosters resilience as it teaches you to value your efforts rather than seeking validation from others. Humility is a powerful practice that shields you from the potential pitfalls of ego and pride. It keeps you grounded, reminding you that success is fleeting and that there's always more to learn and achieve. It allows you to enjoy your achievements without the pressure to constantly perform for an audience. In Buddhism, the quiet joy of knowing you've done well without the need for outward display is a true expression of inner strength and contentment. So, next time you achieve something great, take a moment to appreciate it privately. Let your success be a source of quiet pride and motivation, not a reason to seek external validation. In doing so, you not only protect your peace, but also cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and humility, allowing you to continue your journey with a clear mind and a humble heart. Remember, the most valuable accomplishments are those that resonate within, untouched by the judgments of the outside world. Guard your successes as you would your inner peace, letting them fuel your continued growth in silence and serenity. 9. Protect your reputation. Loose lips sink ships. Your reputation is one of your most valuable assets, shaping how others perceive and interact with you. In Buddhism, maintaining integrity and mindfulness in your words and actions is crucial for protecting this asset. A strong reputation, built on respect, honesty, and reliability, can open doors and create opportunities. while a damaged reputation can close them just as quickly. The saying, "Loose lips sink ships," highlights the dangers of careless speech. Sharing too much, too soon, or with the wrong people can lead to misunderstandings, betrayals, and a tarnished image. Protecting your reputation requires conscious effort. It starts with being mindful of what you say and how you present yourself to the world. In conversations, resist the urge to gossip, brag, or speak impulsively. Even seemingly harmless remarks can be twisted or misinterpreted, leading to conflicts or creating a negative impression. Buddhism emphasizes right speech, which means speaking truthfully, kindly, and only when necessary. This practice helps you maintain a positive reputation by ensuring your words reflect your true character and values. It's also important to recognize that not everyone who listens has your best interests at heart. Sharing personal information, opinions, or plans indiscriminately can backfire if those details reach the wrong ears. People may use what you say against you, spreading rumors or distorting your words to suit their agendas. By being selective about what you share and with whom, you minimize the risk of your reputation being undermined by others' mischief or malice. This discernment is a protective measure, allowing you to navigate social dynamics with confidence and caution. Your actions also play a significant role in shaping your reputation. Consistently acting with integrity, keeping your promises, and treating others with respect builds a solid foundation for a positive image. In contrast, even a single lapse in judgment can have long-lasting effects on how others perceive you. That's why it's crucial to align your actions with your values and to be mindful of how your behavior reflects on your character. Every action is a statement about who you are, and every word you speak contributes to the narrative that others create about you. A strong reputation serves as a protective barrier in difficult times. When you've established yourself as trustworthy and reliable, people are more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt during misunderstandings or conflicts. Your past behavior and words create a kind of social credit that can help shield you from unwarranted criticism. However, this credit is fragile and can be easily depleted if not maintained with consistent, thoughtful conduct. Buddhism also teaches the importance of self-awareness in protecting your reputation. Regularly reflecting on your actions, words, and the image you project helps you stay aligned with your values. It's about being honest with yourself, about where you can improve, and taking proactive steps to make those changes. This ongoing process of self-correction ensures that your reputation evolves positively over time, rather than being left to chance or the judgments of others. It's essential to avoid being overly defensive or reactive when faced with criticism. Not every negative comment warrants a response, and sometimes silence is your best defense. Reacting impulsively can escalate conflicts and further damage your reputation. Instead, take a step back, assess the situation calmly, and choose a response that reflects your true character. By remaining composed and respectful, even in the face of criticism, you demonstrate the strength of your reputation and your commitment to maintaining it. Protecting your reputation is about being mindful and intentional. In how you engage with the world, it's about choosing your words carefully, acting with integrity, and being aware of the impact you have on others. Loose lips not only sink ships, they can also undermine years of hard work and personal growth. So speak thoughtfully, act wisely, and guard your reputation as diligently as you would your peace of mind. In doing so, you ensure that the story others tell about you is one of respect, trust, and unwavering integrity. 10. Boundaries protect your peace. Set them firmly. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your inner peace, protecting your energy, and fostering healthy relationships. In Buddhism, setting boundaries is seen as an act of self-respect and self-preservation, not selfishness. They act as invisible lines that define what is acceptable in your interactions with others and what isn't. Without firm boundaries, you risk being overwhelmed, manipulated, or drained by those who do not respect your space, time, or emotional well-being. Setting boundaries allows you to control the flow of energy in your life. Imagine your mind and spirit as a garden. Boundaries are the fences that keep out harmful influences while allowing you to nurture what truly matters. They protect your mental and emotional resources, ensuring that you have the strength to care for yourself and be present for others in a balanced way. By establishing clear limits, you communicate to others that your peace is not up for negotiation and that your well-being is a priority. Boundaries are not about cutting people off or shutting yourself away from the world. They are about creating a healthy environment where you can thrive. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you, showing them that your time and emotions are valuable. This is especially important in a world that often demands more than you can comfortably give. By being clear about what you will and won't tolerate, you prevent others from overstepping, taking advantage, or imposing their expectations on you. Setting boundaries isn't always easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and sometimes the willingness to disappoint others. People may not always understand or accept your boundaries, especially if they are used to having unrestricted access to your time, energy, or emotions. But remember, you are not responsible for their reactions. Buddhism teaches us to let go of the need to please everyone and instead focus on maintaining our own inner harmony. Your boundaries are yours to set, and they do not need to be justified to anyone else. Clear boundaries also help you manage your emotional responses. When you know where your limits lie, you're less likely to feel resentful, overwhelmed, or taken for granted. You can engage with others from a place of strength rather than obligation, making your interactions more authentic and fulfilling. This self-control is a key aspect of Buddhist mindfulness. It keeps you aware of your needs and ensures that you do not sacrifice your well-being for the sake of others. Boundaries serve as a powerful tool for self-reflection and personal growth. They force you to examine what is truly important to you, what you're willing to accept, and what you need to protect yourself from. This introspection aligns with the Buddhist practice of self-awareness, helping you understand your limits and guiding you in making choices that honor your true self. Boundaries are not static. They evolve as you grow, reflecting your changing needs and values. Boundaries also protect you from toxic relationships and negative influences. By setting firm limits, you can distance yourself from individuals who consistently drain your energy, disrespect your space, or bring negativity into your life. In Buddhism, maintaining a peaceful mind is paramount, and boundaries are essential in safeguarding that peace. They allow you to cultivate a circle of positivity around you, ensuring that your environment supports your journey toward inner tranquility. Remember, boundaries are not just about saying no, they are also about saying yes to what truly matters. They create space for you to focus on your passions, goals, and the people who genuinely support you. By setting boundaries, you give yourself the freedom to live authentically and intentionally, unburdened by the expectations and demands of others. This is an empowering act that reinforces your self-worth and protects your mental and emotional health. Setting boundaries is an ongoing practice of self-care that requires patience and persistence. It's about recognizing that your peace is worth protecting and that you have the right to create a life that respects your limits. Boundaries are a form of self-love that honors who you are and what you need. So set them firmly, uphold them consistently, and let them guide you toward a life of balance, respect, and inner peace. In doing so, you not only protect yourself, but also create a healthier, more harmonious way of interacting with the world around you. Never exposing yourself isn't about hiding who you are. It's about guarding your inner sanctuary. Buddhism teaches us to protect our peace, our energy, and our path. Remember, you are in control of what you reveal and to whom. Let these lessons guide you in maintaining your personal boundaries and safeguarding your spirit.